Is Kyogre going to be worth powering up in Pokemon Go? We're going to check all that out right now. So with all that said, let's jump right in. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below. Are you guys ready for Kyogre in Pokemon Go? Have you already started? Are you in groups that are going to get you more raids in other countries? If you do need that, definitely check in the pinned comments below. We can definitely get you that. So with all that said, let's start getting into Kyogre. Is it going to be worth your time, effort, and resources to go after? Number one. Number two, it does have a primal evolution at some point, so it is going to be better than just a regular legendary. And then finally, I want to make sure that you guys know, if it does get a special moveset, is it going to be then better or worse than where it does sit? Because as of right now, Kyogre does not have its specific moveset. And that specific move for Kyogre is going to be Origin Pulse. So we are gonna kind of compare and kind of hypothesize in this as well, if it is going to be making Kyogre better or worse than it is. So with all that said, let's jump right into Kyogre, because Kyogre is gonna be an all water type Pokemon. At level 50, it is gonna max out at 4,652. So yes, it does go quite high, which is very enticing for a lot of us, especially those people that are really into the 100% IVs and the legendaries. Seeing a Pokemon that high is really cool. It's going to have an attack of 270 that's going to be ranked 61. It's going to have a defense that's 228, ranked 56, and then a stamina that is going to be 205 that is going to be ranked 195. So none of the stats are really going to shine really high, but does that really matter? Because overall we're looking at a generalist standpoint, and then obviously every single Pokemon is in this lineup, and that doesn't mean that just because one is not in rank 1 through 10, that for that category and typing, that it cannot still be extremely effective. So with it being a water type Pokemon, it's going to have two weaknesses, which are going to be grass as well as electric. And then it's going to resist fire, ice, steel, and water. And then every other moveset is going to be neutral against this Pokemon. So that is going to be the one downfall of this Pokemon being strictly water. It only has 4 resistances and 2 weaknesses, which is good from the weakness standpoint, but from the resistance standpoint, obviously speaking, if we're talking about PvP and other things like that, where you really want to have a more bulky, tanky Pokemon, this would be an issue. And then obviously the shiny is out, which is incredible. And this Pokemon's moveset is going to be, number one, it only gets 1 quick move, which is going to be Waterfall. And then as far as its charge moves, it's going to get 4. It's going to get Blizzard, which hits hard. It's going to get Thunder, which hits hard. It's going to get Hydro Pump, which hits hard. And then it's going to get Surf, which is more of a spammier move. It still hits relatively hard, but it's not as powerful as something like Hydro Cannon. So with all that said, now we're going to get into the DPS times TDO, the damage per second times the total damage output of this Pokemon, and see where it does sit as of right now. And then we will check out the PvP, and I'm going to give you guys a recommendation. Do I think it's going to be worth your time, effort, and resources to raid this Pokemon really hard to get maybe 296 XL candy or even over for this specific Pokemon? So let's jump in. Starting off, we are going to check out Kyogre against itself. Obviously, we're going to see the primal form in here as well. So primal Kyogre with Waterfall and Surf at 6,228. So I just want to address this 6,000 standpoint right now for this Kyogre, because we have seen things like Mewtwo and Rayquaza being over 15,000 for DPS times TDO. So unfortunately right now the moveset for this Pokemon is not really stacking up as to where it needs to be to really hit that next level of a mega legendary, right? And I know it's a primal, but it's basically functioning as the same exact thing. Just want to point that out. Now let's jump back in. Then Kyogre with the Hydro Pump 5510, and then we see the Waterfall Blizzard for the primal 4320, and then the Thunder 3612, and then the regular Kyogre is going to be Waterfall Surf at 2,714. Then we see Waterfall and Hydro Pump at 2,377, and then down and so forth for Blizzard and Thunder. So if we are looking at this Pokemon just as in a capsule of itself, remember guys, we're looking at about 3,000 to really make some moves, but it depends on the category as far as how effective this Pokemon's going to be. But it's pretty close to 3,000. So now let's check it out versus all the water type Pokemon and see where it does sit. Number one, we have Mega Swampert, Water Gun, and Hydro Cannon at 6,992, which is above the primal Kyogre at 6,228. And that's exactly why I talked about the Origin Pulse, is because if you look at this, having a starter Pokemon rank above a mega legendary basically is not okay for me. I mean, yes, some of these Pokemon are just not as effective, but Kyogre is a beast tank Pokemon. There's no reason that a Swampert, even in its mega form, should be ranking above a primal Kyogre. That's why that Origin Pulse is something that we are going to test out and see where it does sit. That would probably make more sense for where this Pokemon does deserve as a mega primal evolution. Then we have Mega Blastoise at Water Gun and Hydro Cannon at 4770. One more thing to mention is that obviously right now Mega Blastoise is the #1 strongest water type Pokemon. Even though it is a mega Pokemon, it's not permanent and you can't have multiple. But think about these other two Pokemon, they're going about 2,000 right? An extra 25% increase in strength from this Mega Blastoise right now, which is very significant. And then we have the Ash Greninja, which is going to be Bubble and Surf at 4114. Then we have Mega Gyarados, Waterfall, and Hydro Pump at 3925. Shadow Swampert, Water Gun, and Hydro Cannon at 3379. So as of right now, the Shadow Swampert is the #1 attacker for the water category right now. And then we have Shadow Feraligatr at Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 2897. And then we have the regular Kyogre, the first non-Mega, non-Shadow available Pokemon in the game right now, which is going to be Waterfall and Surf at 2714. Shadow Gyarados coming in next at Waterfall Hydro Pump at 2307. And then the regular Swampert at Water Gun and Hydro Cannon at 1897. And also we have to do due diligence and put in Palkia as well. But Palkia, the one thing about it is that it is not going to be a dual stab type Pokemon because it does not get a water fast move. But it is going to be 2917 in comparison to the 2714. So technically speaking, it would be above the Kyogre, but at the same time you have to take in consideration that it's not going to be getting the stab bonus when it is going to be using its quick move. So it may be a good attacker, but it's not going to be able to do consistent damage as much as something like Kyogre does. With the 200-point differential for DPS times TDO, may be in your best interest to stay after that Kyogre. So if you just look at the shadow differential from the Swampert to the regular Swampert, it's insane, right? Insane. If the Shadow Kyogre ever does come out, this thing is going to be extremely powerful as well. And then we check out the Mega Sharpedo at Waterfall and Hydro Pump in here. And then we have Kingler, Feraligatr, Samurai. And if you do want to pause here and see down the list from 1800 all the way till 1300 at the Gyarados at the bottom, you can definitely check that out. And so if you guys do want to see if these Pokemon do go Shadow at some point, where is that going to be? You can check them out up here. I do Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. It's really cool to see how powerful those Pokemon do get as Shadow. But as of right now, without the specific moveset, it is still a really dominant Pokemon. Like I said, it's the first non-Shadow, non-Mega attacker for the water category, and I only think that it's going to get better once it does get Origin Pulse. I could be wrong about this, but I think it deserves to be better than where it does sit. And I apologize about the light hitting me weird, but I really wanted to get Big Ben in the background, being that I am in London. And unfortunately, we just have to have a little bit subpar of lighting for this specific situation. So now let's check out, let's say that it does get Origin Pulse, and it does kind of stack up similar to as is Hydro Cannon. So let's use Hydro Cannon as the theoretical moveset that is going to compare to Origin Pulse for Kyogre and see where then it does sit. So for the Primal Kyogre, if it does get a Hydro Cannon-esque type moveset, it will be at 10,622. And then in the regular Waterfall Hydro Cannon, it's going to be 4,646. In comparison to the Waterfall Surf in the Primal at 6,228. And then the non-Primal Waterfall Surf at 2,714. So if we do think about it, guys, that is, in my opinion, where Kyogre does deserve to sit in Pokemon Go. But granted, that is not the current reality, but I still want to kind of just give a hypothetical situation because I do believe that at some point, this Pokemon deserves to be at 10,000 DPS times TDO for sure, and in the water category, it will stack up as Primal Kyogre blowing out everything at Waterfall and Hydro Cannon at 10,622. Let's just call it Origin Pulse. And the Mega Swampert is going to be next at about 7,000, Mega Blastoise about 4,700. Then the regular Kyogre is actually above the Ash Greninja, the Mega Gyarados, the Shadow Swampert, the Feraligatr at Waterfall. Let's call it Origin Pulse 4646. So now we're talking. This Pokemon definitely deserves to be in this standpoint, in my opinion. What do you guys think in the comments below? For sure. So from a meta attacker, is it worth 296 Exo Candy to power up? I definitely think so. I'm never going to feel wrong about having 1 or 2 or 3 multiple powered up Kyogres, especially because one does have a Primal at some point or another, even if Mega Swampert does outshine it, which I don't think is always going to be the case, but even if it does, it's really close, right? So that's my standpoint for this Pokemon. Absolute get at least 296 Exo Candy, but if you want to be really safe, 656 Exo Candy just in case the Shadow does come out and it does become extremely powerful, because it will be, and it will be the top attacker in the game for sure, above the Shadow Swampert. So now let's move into PvP and see where it sits at. So as far as an Ultra League standpoint, it's not going to shine the best. 317 rank. Obviously we know that it is a much higher CP Pokemon, which is then going to make it shine best in the Master League. In the Uncapped Master League, it's going to be rank 32, and then in the Capped Master League, it's going to be rank 43 with the moveset of Waterfall, Surf, and Blizzard combination. It also can get Thunder, and that may make sense for your team, but at the same time, I just want to give you the recommended moveset. But let's see where it does sit as far as its key wins and losses and where it's going to stack up against other water types. So as far as sitting up against other water type Pokemon, we are looking at Palkia that does sit in there that is going to have a little bit more resistances. We are looking at regular and Shadow Gyarados that's going to rank up better, and also the Swampert in the regular form that is going to have more resistances than does this Pokemon, but it is going to be double weak to grass. So as far as its key wins go, it's going to win against Excadrill, Metagross, Garchomp, Mewtwo, as well as Zacian. So those are pretty good wins, but it's going to lose against Giratina, Dragonite, Dialga, Lugia, as well as Gyarados. So unfortunately, I really wanted this Pokemon to prevail. Honestly, if you do get something like a Blizzard and you can get into something like a Giratina Origin form or even an Altered form and hit it with that Blizzard, it's going to KO it if you have no shields. But unfortunately, the Waterfall does take quite a bit of time to charge up moves. So use this Pokemon more as a water typing, and it is good, but when I do get something like my Giratina Origin form against this Pokemon, I'm very confident that I'm gonna beat it. Unfortunately for PvP, I do see better water type Pokemon out there, and I never really see a Kyogre give me any problems with the teams that I do use in Go Battle League. So with that said, you can multi-purpose a Pokemon that is powered up for a meta attacker and a primal in the future as a Go Battle League Pokemon as well. So it's not terrible, I just see better options than this in the water category. So at least 296, in preferential you'd be at 656 to make sure you are completely secure for a future Shadow Pokemon. So trade your Pokemon each and every day and get more XL candy. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscribe for emphasis to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.